Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, your host, here with my co-host and co-explorer in crime, Amy.
Hello.
We are coming to you from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. We have a really fun show lined up for you today. In fact, it's something we don't do very often. We don't do a whole lot of series of episodes. And this is one in a series of episodes looking at the great road trip attractions that you can find all over the United States.
So things like the biggest ball of yarn?
Absolutely. We do. We're going to eventually talk about the biggest ball of twine. And in fact, did you know that there are several world's biggest ball of twines?
Really?
Twines?
Which one's actually the largest?
It's very debated.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all in the Guinness Book of World Records under different
categories?
Yeah. Like one is the largest ball of twine rolled by a single person. One of them is like the largest just by size. Another one's something else. We'll get into that eventually. There's so much. There's so much of these and so many of these like kitschy roadside attractions in the United States that to do one show of them would not be enough. We would not have enough time to do it.
Right.
Or we would go on some Joe Rogan-esque like 8-hour podcast and we just couldn't do that. Instead, I've broken it down by regions around the country to give you, I guess, to perk your interest. If you're planning a road trip across the United States, wherever you go, you're going to find some really fun stuff on the side of the road.
And we've come across some random things in some of our travels, not necessarily touted as roadside attractions, but there is the road from Vegas out to Death Valley National Park. And last time we went out there, we stopped at that little hotel that had the giant statue of the pig.
Yeah.
And we got out and took a picture with it because we kept driving by this. And we're like, why do they have a giant, like 25-foot pig statue?
Huge.
So we had to take a picture. Wasn't it a pig and a cow?
And that, yeah, there's two of them. And even along that highway going up between Las Vegas and Reno, there is, understandably, a lot of stuff that circles on aliens.
Yep.
Or around that because of the famed Area 51. So you'll see a lot of alien road stops. And even we'll eventually talk about alien jerky and where it actually came from and why, in my opinion, you should never eat that. But a lot of people do. It's been a business for a very long time. So, and this is one of those things that as Americans, we like to hang our hat on and go, the road trip was it wasn't invented by Americans, but we think we perfected a lot of it. And we see it, but it's not uniquely American. In fact, people have built things to lure like travelers with roadside attractions. I mean, going back to ancient Rome.
Really?
Absolutely. The Romans, they built giant milestones and victory arches everywhere, basically. Medieval Europe had shrines and relics all over the place, and they brought pilgrims and travelers into towns as a way to getting people to
it was an
come
attraction.
to those areas. Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But why it took off in the United States is a better story. The U.S. at that time had the right mix of car culture, endless highway, and a bit of free space. People often forget how big the United States really is.
It really is, yes.
But the car culture, basically, and I was talking to someone about this the other day, but how cars were actually marketed to Americans back after World War II, when it became more affordable for a family to have a vehicle, like every family have a vehicle, and more practical to have a vehicle. It was marketed as freedom. Oh. You hit the open road and you're free. You live in the land of the free. It was marketed to teenagers as a bit of privacy.
Oh.
Get away from your parents. Go be somewhere with
be naughty somewhere.
Well, I was going to say with your betrothed, but yes, you can go be naughty with some harlots.
Probably not looking for roadside attractions, though.
It's roadside something, all right. But like after the Model T was, started coming off the assembly line in 1908, and the U.S. highway system, which really didn't exist until the 1920s, it just kind of became this canvas for entrepreneurs to set up things on the side of the road and hopefully get people with the attraction of like the world's biggest or the world's largest or see this fantastical thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
One of the first ones you can come across, and we're looking at the American Southwest in this one. We might as well start at home, right?
Yeah.
And one of the ones we've seen, passing through Amarillo, Texas, is the famed Cadillac Ranch.
I think everyone's probably seen a photo of it at
Absolutely.
least once. You may not know what it is, but you've seen a photo of it.
It's 10 Cadillacs planted nose first in a row out in a field along Interstate 40 right outside of Amarillo, Texas. And like you said, if you don't know what we're talking about exactly, you've probably seen the pictures because it is more art collection and art installation than like kitschy little thing, but it has kind of secured its place as this
as a roadside attraction.
Yeah. This oddity.
I know. Even was it last year when my sister and her family drove from Texas this direction, they stopped out there and got some spray paint because they don't discourage you from spray painting these vehicles. And she said her kids really loved it.
Absolutely. And that's where I think the fun part is for a lot of people, because it's more than just like an Instagram photo. You are encouraged to get some paint. And I believe the stores nearby sell paint specifically for that. You're encouraged to come out there with spray paint and spray the cars. Leave your own, I guess, temporary message for people. And, it comes with those kind of oddities, like the spray paint layers get so thick that, after all of these decades, that they've actually changed the shape of a lot of the vehicles that are out there. They used to, I'm not sure if they still do, but they used to even sell layers of the paint chips that had fallen off as Cadillac Ranch souvenirs.
Really?
So you could buy these things like just layers of paint from so many years and years. It was first set up in 1974 and has been going strong. So a little oddball fact, right? Originally, the Cadillacs were buried at the same angle as the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Oh.
Like this Texas meets Egypt kind of road art.
Interesting.
Oh, why?
Okay.
Don't know. No idea. You'd have to ask the original artist, I guess.
Really? I wonder if people ever go out there and you're encouraged to spray paint, which is vandalism, but do people ever vandalize it in other ways? How else could you vandalize it? I don't know.
Absolutely. People have stolen tail fins off the cars, doors off the cars. And even in a rare instance, they stole I think 2 or 3 of entire cars. They dug them up and drove them off. And
wow.
The people, they were a little perturbed, but they just replaced the Cadillacs and went on with it. A lot of people don't know that it's been moved a couple of times. And it's actually 2 miles from the original location, up a couple of exits on a highway. And most people who are, I guess, if you're not from Amarillo, you probably wouldn't notice. But a lot of people just go, they almost have that like Mandela effect. Like, I thought this was over here.
And now it's here.
But now it's not.
Interesting.
In a let me tell you, in a state full of oddities like Texas.
You have to go big if you want to stand out. You
have to. And also, to make a name for yourself like this in a state like that.
Yeah. A
state that we grew up in. And I do. It holds a special place in my heart. But it is a fun roadside attraction. I think it's a great way to start off this conversation.
And it's free, isn't it? Like there's no entrance fee.
No,
you
can just
drive
walk
over to it. Right.
That's what you should consider. That's what should be on your list, the Cadillac Ranch outside of Amarillo. Stay right here on Unscaled Travel Show. We're going to have more right after this.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Welcome back to Unscaled Travel Show. It's Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello. Stop laughing at me.
We're in Sin City, Nevada, in the Diamondback Laser Vein Studios, and we're talking in between breaks here about some of the roadside attractions and different things you can find. Did you ever go to one of those like roadside, like the drive-through animal places, like safari parks?
Yes. There's one outside of Houston we used to go to.
Yes. Did you go to that one?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you go to these things, right? You stay in your vehicle. If you know, we have visitors in other countries, or we have listeners in other countries that may not know this. You stay in your vehicle, you drive through these safari type parks, and you see the animals more up close. And there are other places like Arizona. That's in Arizona. That's a great place. We've talked about Arizona many, many times. But there's this one outside of Houston. I'm not sure if it's still there.
I don't know.
It's like Houston, Austin area or something like
it's
that.
out like past Houston on the way to Austin.
But man, that's where I came face to face with just the meanest ostriches. Ostrich?
Ostrichi?
Whatever a collection of them are. I'm going to call them a murder, not
I was
crows.
going to say the same thing.
Ostriches are a group of homicide. That's what that is, man. Those things reach in their heads inside your vehicle.
Because they also let you buy food and it comes like in a cup.
Yeah, I should explain that. They're not just
and then they're like, oh, you can feed the animals as you drive through.
Oh my gosh.
But the animals are trained to like lean into the cars and take the food. I was terrified. I only did it once as like an older kid. I was terrified.
I am in my 40s now, and I still give any emus, ostriches, anything like that, a wide berth.
They have very scary claws on their feet.
Wide berth with these things.
They're like modern day velociraptors.
Yeah, I imagine that's what. Now that we know that dinosaurs had feathers, and
what?
it's kind of confirmed. What?
I don't know this.
You didn't know about?
No, I thought they were kind of skelly.
There's so much we need to discuss. We don't have time. We could have one show
about roadside attraction.
If you've driven anywhere between El Paso and, say, Phoenix, you've probably seen signs for the thing.
Yes.
What is the thing? It's not that. It's not that thing right there that you just hear in the background. But it could be. But you've seen, I mean, for hundreds of miles, the billboards used to appear for this mysterious thing with a question mark that would appear at some point in Arizona, in Dragoon.
Dragoon?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dragoon, Arizona. Off of Interstate 10.
I like the way that sounds.
It's not Dragon. It's Dragoon. So, you know, the roadside, it's basically a roadside museum. And you would know it because you had literally hundreds of billboards across the American Southwest saying, come find out and see and take pictures of the thing. And what was the thing? The thing itself is like a mummified looking creature in a coffin that you could go and take pictures of and stand and wonder and pontificate.
Is it a
what
mummy?
This thing is.
Is it an actual mummy?
It's a mummified thing.
A mummified thing. So it's not necessarily a mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's more of the history of the kind of the American roadside attraction, because we talk about how these things kind of took off, and really billboards.
Yeah.
For average, because how do you market traditionally something like this? You're not going to do TV commercials and stuff, but billboards. We actually, I mean, there's a store now that is expanding that people, because of TikTok and Instagram, are finding everywhere, and it's called Buc-ee's. Yes. It originated in Texas. You and I actually went to the original Buc-ee's years and years ago. Years and years ago. So old.
Well, I didn't tell you, but I just stopped by one of the new Buc-ee's when I was back in Texas last week.
Oh, see. And now they're everywhere. And now you have like influencers and creators from all over the world stopping in Buc-ee's because they are really a marvel to go check out, right? But we would go to the original ones. And I don't know if you remember that the original ones, they used to put up billboards hundreds of miles away.
Yeah.
And they would say things like 90 miles to Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
80 miles to the cleanest, largest bathrooms.
So they still
the
do
state.
it because there's multiple ones around Houston. And as soon as you pass the one that's kind of on the east side of Houston, you start seeing signs for the next one that's like the next Buc-ee's 46 miles down the highway. But it started with just the one.
Yeah.
And it was everybody stopped because there was nothing else out there. And when you say this is a truck stop like no other, it truly was like the biggest roadside truck stop, convenience store, gas station you've ever seen with amazing food in it. And it's still amazing food.
Well, the thing in Arizona was a little bit different. It began in the 1960s. It was bought and expanded by a family. But it was more in line with a classic bait and switch. The billboards make it sound terrifying. You're with the family, you're on a road trip, and you've been seeing it for so long. You're like, now I have to see this. What is this thing? I have
to find out what the thing is.
You get there, and it's kind of like an attraction with like cheesy dioramas, a gift shop with overpriced stuff. And the big reveal, this mummified thing, which was absolutely created by a person,
so
just
it's
for
not
this,
a real mummy. Okay.
is underwhelming. But that's what makes it exactly iconic for this sort of thing. It's so underwhelming that you get up to it and you're like, I mean, if you're 8 years old, you're probably like, wow, what is this thing? Or like the roadside carnivals used to have like the petrified and mummified like mermaids and stuff like that. Yeah. When it was just like, you could just
paper mache or something.
Yes, exactly. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So at one point they had over 250 billboards teasing the thing across Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. It's still there. You can still go see it. And in fact, I encourage you to. The same with the other one. This other one I want to talk about real quick in Alamogordo, New Mexico. So along the way to Arizona to go see the thing, stop by and see the world's largest pistachio.
Is this a real pistachio?
What?
Like
it's a 30-foot tall pistachio nut outside of a place called Pistachio Land, which is a family-run nut farm and store.
That's what I'm saying. Did they actually grow a 30-foot pistachio? Like, how does that happen? That's like...
Well... How would they grow a 30-foot
I don't know. I was going to say, like, does it have superpowers? I don't know.
Have you ever seen a pistachio?
Yes, they're tiny.
How would they grow at 30 feet?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you. World's largest pistachio. I'm assuming it's a real pistachio.
It is a concrete pistachio.
So it's a statue.
It was built in 2008 by the family who founded the farm just to get people talking.
Well, we're talking about it.
It is in Alamogordo. A lot of, nuclear bomb testing close by. So
saying.
maybe, okay, I can see that. We got, what? We're going to talk some more. We're going to go to break. And you and I, we're going to talk. Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I can't even make eye contact with you.
You said world's largest pistachio. You didn't say it was a statue of a pistachio. I'm thinking it's like when you see those pumpkins at Halloween time and they're like 400 pounds. Like there's going to be this giant actual pistachio.
But it wouldn't be 30 foot tall.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I didn't know I needed. I apologize. You know what? You're right. Because there are people... again, we have listeners all around the world, and they don't know that I'm not talking about a 30-foot tall.
I didn't know, and I'm right here next to you.
Okay. We got to move on past the
Speaking
pistachio.
of 30-foot tall things.
There's no segue from that. I don't. The next place I want to talk about as far as roadside attractions when you're traveling the American Southwest is one that over the last decade or so has really gained a lot of momentum. So it is kind of building its own, I don't know, the hype of it, I guess, with TikTok and Instagram and everyone going through and trying to find like the weirdest things, right? And this is one that's just a couple hours north of us. And we've mentioned it multiple times before, but it's still worth noting because of the love-hate relationship, I think, that people have with this place. And that's the world-famous Clown Motel in Tonopah. Tonopah is about, what, two or 3 hours?
Halfway from here to Reno, so at about three hours from us. 3
hours north of Las Vegas, out in the middle of nowhere, in a town called Tonopah. Tonopah used to be one of the bigger cities in Las Vegas. It was a mining town.
In Nevada.
In Nevada. But it's not anymore. It's kind of like a little drive-through. You stop, get gas or whatever. But going through town, it's one of those places that makes you slow all the way down to like 25 miles an hour to go through the center of town. On the highway. And they have two notable hotels, and both people scream paranormal activity. The one is the Mitzvah, and they have some ghost stories related to the Mitzvah Hotel. And I definitely recommend go through there and stop by that.
Yeah, but driving by the Mitzvah isn't like...
If you blink, you miss the Mitzvah.
You don't notice it.
No one misses the Clown Motel.
No. Well, first of all, it's painted purple. And there is a 30-foot tall clown outside of it. It is giant.
It is truly just unsettling, especially for people that really do have a clown, I don't know, phobia? What do they call that? What's the exact term?
I don't know. I don't have a clown phobia, but
the place
gives me the creeps a little bit.
Yeah. It is a working motel. It has the lobby and rooms, and you can go stay the night there. A lot of people do. It is packed with more than 2,000 clown dolls, paintings, figurines. They have individual clown rooms that you can pick out and go like, I want a nice clown, actually. And the more I talk about this, my palms are sweating. I want a smiling, happy clown, which to me is more terrifying.
I don't think people realize the rooms are each decorated with clowns, too. Yeah. Like, there's clowns. There's the giant clown outside. There's other clowns, like, painted on the outside of the motel. But every room is also clown-themed.
Yeah, they're going to be in the room with you.
Yes. So you are surrounded by clowns the entire time you are there. You cannot get away from it.
It was founded in 1985 by this family as a tribute to their father, who was a clown collector. Now, they don't say whether it was dead clowns or figurines.
You know, growing up, my parents had a clown figurine, and it was pretty tall. It was like, I don't know, 1.5 feet tall or so. And it scared me as a kid because it was a sad clown.
Oh.
It was like...
Why would they buy that?
I don't know, but it was like porcelain, and it was painted with like a frown. And I remember it always like... It unnerved me, even as a child. I think eventually it got knocked over and broke, but I just remember this clown statue
it came
very
to life.
Clearly. It always sat on the floor because it was pretty tall. And I don't have a fear of clowns, but I think this statue, now that I'm reliving this memory, you've drug it up, is probably why this place...
It's a repressed memory.
Yes, this place gives me a little bit of the creeps.
Yeah. So it was a tribute to their late father, who was some sort of clown collector of varying degree. And he is right next door still in the cemetery. He is in the cemetery that is right next door, right beside the Clown Motel in Tonopah.
Oh, okay.
So you can see their living tribute and then go see the man himself. That the next time we pass through there, which, I mean, we pass through there a lot. And I want to go stop and see if, like, what what does this headstone look like? Is it clowns?
Do you think it's decorated with clowns?
I am going to guess yes. If they're going to do this in a motel for him, then I guess yes.
I don't understand loving clowns so much that your children decorate a motel like that for you.
Bro, we need to talk about that. Here's what's weird. Out of all the weird stuff, here's what's weird. My mom used to collect, you do this. My mom used to collect chickens.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So...
And
not just chickens, not just the female chickens.
The roosters.
The roosters. Mm-hmm. So what I
not
have to...
actual chickens and roosters, things with chicken and roosters on them.
Yes, like that was the whole thing, right?
Yes.
So what I have to open, if I wanted to honor her, a tribute, would I need to open
a rooster museum?
A rooster motel?
A rooster just walking around.
Mm-hmm.
Cock-a-doodle-doing all morning.
Every room would have a different rooster. A different rooster.
All right. Sure. Let's do it.
It was once put up for sale in 2017 for about $1 million, close to $1 million. And yes, the clown collection was included. It was sold. The new owners renovated it, but the clown theme stayed. They doubled down by painting more rooms with full wall clown murals.
But don't a lot of people pay for a room and never stay there? They just want to go in and see the rooms.
Yeah.
You've made a name for yourself when people pay just to walk in, to see, and leave.
Unscaled Travel Show. Keep it right here.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Check us out online, unscaledtravelshow.com, for all of our past episodes and interviews. Got some good stuff on there. Lots of good stuff. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, this is going to be a series. We're going to try to get around to most of the regions here in the United States, talk about these roadside oddities that you need to check out. I mean, that's part of the allure and the fun of a road trip. Mm-hmm. The road trip is, a lot of people think it's the destination where you're going to go. But actually it used to be a point in, at least here in the United States, that was like the family thing. That was the big vacation.
The mother road, right?
Yeah. You got everyone in the car, usually some ugly thing with wood paneling on the side of it. And you went on just hundreds of miles, and yeah, there was a destination at the end most of the time, but it was usually just about the fun and the family memories and stuff like that. In fact, National Lampoon had a whole movie about it called Vacation. And, they get to the park. Spoiler alert, the park isn't open. So it's really about the memories made along the way of the movie, right?
And like you said, a lot of people don't enjoy stopping. They are on a time schedule. Mm-hmm. They need to get to this place by this time and then wake up early and keep going. You and I, as long as there isn't hard plans, we do like to stop and see things. Yeah. We want to get out, stretch our legs, and go check out this natural wonder or this, really interesting whatever on the side of the road. I like wandering and seeing things that we otherwise wouldn't see if we had just kept driving down the highway.
And I get that people may not want to stop at every kitschy little thing because, these days the money can add up.
Yeah.
So you don't always want to waste money on stuff that's just going to be anticlimactic. Or if you have an older crowd, like we have free things like just south of Las Vegas is the
Seven Magic Mountains.
Mm-hmm. And it's an art installation, but it's free. But it is just brightly painted giant rocks stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
And people still stop by the hundreds every single day and go and check this out. And it is something I think you should go
see once.
Go see up close once.
Right.
Not just from the highway, just up close once.
Well, because the interesting thing of that is they're huge and they're just stacked. They're not like a attached to each other.
Yeah, they're not like
in any
welded
way.
together or anything
Right.
like that.
And it's
They
like,
are
how
just-
do they not fall over?
It's amazing, right? So if you want something like more natural, like, you know, and maybe you learn a little something that's educational, but it is more in tune with nature, then in Carlsbad, New Mexico, Carlsbad is famous for their caverns.
Mm-hmm.
You could go down into the caverns and do whatever you do in caves. I don't know. You just go walk in there, I guess.
See the staglamites or whatever they're called. I don't know.
You know that, but you thought a pistachio was 30 foot. Okay. Anyway, we're just going to move on from that. But also, they have the Carlsbad Caverns bat flight. So, in evening during the summertime, up to 400,000 Mexican free-tailed bats spiral out of this certain set of caves at sunset almost every single night to go feed.
That sounds like how you become Batman.
It's not far off. The National Park Service has set up seating, set it up years ago in an outdoor amphitheater where visitors will sit and watch bats pour out of these caves and circle around, spiral around. Some of them reach speeds of 25 miles an hour.
Wow.
Just
wow.
In search of insects to eat. Every night, they can eat up to 3 tons of insects.
Oh my gosh.
Almost like just living natural pest control.
That's a little
insect control.
A little bit terrifying.
You're not terrified of the clown motel, but you're terrified of these?
I'm creeped out by the clown motel. Bats? No. Mm-mm. No. 'Cause, like, do they ever get close to the people?
Sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
It's technically a natural wonder, but it's presented like a stage show. The rangers there in the park do an opening talk, and then they, for the most part, kind of like, I would say Old Faithful, they do have it down to an inexact science of when these creatures will start to emerge. Although things like rain and stuff like that can kind of throw a wrench into plans. But, they start with a talk, a little educational whatever about the bats, and then the crowd goes quiet. And then the bats, whenever they, feel the need.
I imagine it has to do with sunset and how dark it is and things like that.
People have described it as eerie, but mesmerizing. A dark tornado of wings that lasts nearly 30 minutes.
That sentence doesn't terrify you? A dark tornado of wings that lasts nearly 30 minutes? Every word in that sentence is terrifying.
Every guy my age has wanted to be Batman. And one of the first things you have to do is be one with the night.
Be surrounded by the bats.
Oh. Absolutely.
No, I'm good.
Can you imagine Batman?
I mean, I do want to see it. I want to see it from afar, though. I don't want them to fly right over me. Do they poop on people?
That is a good looking question.
I mean,
imagine
birds can.
so.
I imagine bats would too.
In some cultures, bat guano, as it's called, is like a delicacy, and they use it for different things. Some of I won't name a coffee group, but some of them bury their beans in the droppings.
Ugh.
But this is one of those roadside shows that is kind of scripted, but it can't really be scripted because the bats do whatever the bats are going to do. So you're just kind of at the mercy of that.
How long they've been doing this? Like, why this cave?
Well, bats have been doing it since their existence.
But why this particular cave? And at what point was the Park Service like, hey, this is an attraction?
We can make money off of this. Let me tell you an interesting fact, though. During World War II, scientists collected the guano here for explosives. Bat droppings literally powered the war effort.
It's explosive?
Yes. Well, I don't know. I guess. Cameras and phones are banned during the flight so the bats don't get disoriented because there's always someone's grandmother with the flash on.
Poor babies. They like the dark.
They like it. You can't have them 25 miles an hour and you got a bat disoriented.
Terrifying.
Fly right into your face, boy.
That's what I'm saying. Terrifying. I'll watch it from the other side of the highway. How about that?
Yeah, you talk about some guano then. Be human guano everywhere. It's Unscaled Travel Show. Keep it right here. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, your host, here with my co-host and co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We're in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. You know, I was thinking about, we have the 7 Magic Mountains we talked about, but are there any other roadside things, like just true roadside attractions outside of that one thing around Las Vegas?
Not that I can think of.
Just off the top of my head, I can't think of. I mean, there's state parks, there's national parks, all that sort of stuff.
I guess you could consider the Welcome to Las Vegas sign a roadside attraction.
Maybe, yeah, maybe so.
But no, this city's made more to keep people indoors.
We don't have windows on our buildings. We don't want people to know what time of day it is. It's so wild. We are talking about those real fun road trip oddities that you can stop with the family and see. Some of them are free. You can walk up, touch them, do whatever. Some of them, I guess they're owned by different people now. It costs a little bit of money. So I'm going to shift my focus to Southern California. If we're talking about the Southwest Americana of what's going out, on out there. And there's a couple of things that we've passed by, especially this first thing. And it's 2 dinosaurs. And it's near, I don't know how to say the name of the town exactly, so I'm just going to do my best guess at it. But it's Cabazon.
I think that's right.
Cabazon, California. It's right off of I-10. You'll pass through it going to LA or if you're headed out to San Diego or whatever. But you're often going to see 2 massive dinosaurs. And yes, before, just like with the pistachio, let me go ahead and correct things.
Obviously they're not real.
You thought the pistachio 30-foot? No, I can't get lost on this conversation again. There are 2 massive concrete dinosaurs. There's Denny the Brontosaurus, that's 150 feet long. And there's Mr. Rex, the T-Rex, who is 65 feet tall. So that's double the size of that pistachio.
Well, so
just letting you know.
Are these an art installation? I know we've seen them from the distance, but I don't know the story behind the dinosaurs. So
they were built in the 1960s and 70s by Claude Bell. He was a theme park artist who also wanted to lure drivers into he had a cafe, and it was called the Wheel Inn Cafe. So that's where it kind of came to be. The dinos are actually hollow. You can climb inside, or at least you could at one time, climb inside Denny and up into Rex's mouth. Oh. I don't know if that's still open, so don't quote me on that it being open now. But these have been, they have both been featured in movies like Pee-wee's Big Adventure from many, many moon ago. You'll have to tell your kids what the heck we're talking about. And The Wizard with one young Fred Savage.
I remember.
You remember? Yes. Remember The Wizard?
Yeah.
So when
we're
they're
dating ourselves.
Yeah, when they're taking their little road trip to bring him to whatever video game thing, you see him on the side of the road and everything. So Claude Bell had this cafe, and after his death, the new owners gave the dinosaurs kind of a makeover. Denny's Belly became like a gift shop filled with pamphlets of stuff, because they had a religious spin on it. But the cafe, the actual dinosaurs outlived the cafe. The cafe, I don't think, is even in existence anymore. I think it closed a few years ago. Actually, it closed in 2013, looking at it now. The Wheel Inn Cafe closed in 2013, but the dinos are still there, and they're still doing their thing. And that's kind of why. It was like he wanted to build something that got people's attention to come to his cafe. So it was kind of a part of
I
it.
mean, I guess that's the whole point of a roadside attraction.
It absolutely is.
It was really just a marketing
The thing.
ploy.
Come see the thing.
Well, there's another one in California that we've passed several times and have stopped and looked at and taken pictures of. And it does actually serve a function, though.
Yeah.
The world's largest thermometer.
Yeah.
And it's pretty tall. I can't remember exactly how high, but I want to say around 100 feet tall. But it does actually display the current temperature of that area of California. So it serves a purpose.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that when we're driving from Vegas to LA and we come around the corner and I see it, I'm like, okay, we're getting close now.
Yeah. Because now it's become this major stop. It's almost like this, a pinpoint in a map. If you know
Your
this stretch
points.
of highway, between Vegas and LA, it's almost kind of halfway.
Yeah.
And you stop there, and now there's convenience stores that are open there. They have a couple of restaurants. So it's actually kind of built up just because people refuel. They use it to stretch their legs for a little bit, and you get a picture with a giant working thermometer. I think for a few years it didn't work.
Yeah,
and
it had stopped working, and they did repair it, so it is working again. Another stop along that highway, it's not currently an operational, but the old water park on the side of the highway that's covered in graffiti.
Yeah, what is the name of that water park? It's been featured in so many documentaries.
Yeah, I actually just saw a documentary on it a few weeks ago, and the whole story of it was actually the first water park in the United States.
Wow.
And unfortunately, once other water parks started being created, because this one was so far away from everything else, it didn't get as much visitors as it had before, but it was basically the prototype for water parks, and it had a campground, and it was built in the 70s. Now it's no longer working, and it's basically covered in graffiti, which from a distance it's actually pretty beautiful to see it. But I've seen people out there taking photos. You see all kinds of, like you said, in documentaries. I've seen it in movies before, and it's just one of those things that when you're driving by, you see it, and it's another pinpoint on your road trip from Vegas to California.
Is it the Fort Irwin Splash Park? I kept trying to look that one up, but yeah, it's been closed for a while, and unfortunately, it had that history of lawsuits and things like that for that water park. But yeah, it is kind of this halfway point. Another one that takes you off the highway a little bit is near a place called Slab City, California. And this is Salvation Mountain. Slab City is kind of like its own little community. It's not an incorporated town. It is more of like alternative lifestyle, like hippie.
Like an artist community?
Yeah, like an artist community. Where this gentleman, Leonard Knight, started in the 1980s. It started as a tribute with a simple message that he had, that God is love. Okay. And since then, it's this, I don't know, how do you describe it? It's a Technicolor mountain that he built with adobe straw and thousands gallons of paint.
Okay.
And they just started painting and painting and painting. And like the people who believed like he believed and moved out there just started with their own messages and started painting these man-made hill structures with different messages and different looks. And it's just kind of in the middle of the desert, off this and with this little off the grid squatters community.
Really? I mean, I've never heard of this one, but that sounds very interesting. I would like to stop and see it.
Absolutely. The pictures are beautiful. I've never stopped in either, but it has Bible verses, and some have murals. Others have rainbow paint layers. At one point, I think they were trying to shut it down because they thought the paint and toxicity and different things of that nature, but the nearby communities, rallied around them.
Oh,
kept it alive, keep it going. So visitors can come in, they bring paint donations, paint their own little piece of folk art or whatever they want to do, their little message.
Of the art,
absolutely.
Huh?
A lot of these, they have a theme. You can be a part of a lot of these roadside art installations.
I like that. Yeah.
So get out there, check it out. Slab City. It's proof that one eccentric person's obsession can become a permanent landmark. Right?
Oh.
There you go. Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy along here with my co-host and co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We are talking about fun roadside oddities here in the American Southwest, a part of a series of episodes we're going to do about roadside fun and attractions that you can find all across the United States for that great American road trip, no matter when you visit us. If you're here from the States or if you're visiting, rent you a camper, hit the open road. We got thousands and thousands of miles of open road that you should go check out. And I don't think we'd be doing the American Southwest a good service if we didn't mention at least a handful of the UFO stops, alien themed stops. Mm-hmm. In almost every state in the American Southwest, you will find some sort of alien stop. Something to do with Roswell, something to do with Area 51, something to do with just extraterrestrial, themes, lovers. I don't
Sightings,
know.
all kinds of stuff.
Lovers is a weird word to use in this one. But I want to start with the Roswell UFO Museum in New Mexico. It is the International UFO Museum and Research Center, where kind of everything that has to do with United States and aliens and all of that kind of kicked off, I believe, in the 1940s in Roswell, New Mexico. But they have a very interesting UFO museum that I hope, I know some of the marketing people there that do stuff for Roswell. I hope we get to visit it soon, like very, very soon. And even I think they have an international festival.
Yes, they do. And
that I want to go to.
The trip I referenced earlier that my sister and her husband took out this way when they stopped at the Cadillac Ranch, they also stopped and went into this museum. And when I saw them just last week, awesome. They were telling me about it because my sister was like, we were driving and we saw the sign for Roswell, and her husband was like, oh, we should stop. The kids might like it. And she said her and the kids were just like, okay. He was fascinated. She said he looked at every single item in the museum like he had never seen it before. He read every plaque. He was like, did you see this? Did you see this? And her and the kids were like, okay. Yeah. This is cool, but like, can we get back on the road? So it might kind of also depend on your interest level in aliens, but
I think people have a hard line. I think people either believe or they don't, and both sides are very fierce in their beliefs, right?
Yeah.
But I think the imagination surrounding, aliens, and then at kind of like the epicenter in this Roswell case, the epicenter, I think it at least sparks that curiosity in people.
Oh, right.
Because this museum alone sees over 250,000 visitors a year. We're not talking about a destination in general. We're talking about a museum out in the middle of nowhere.
And it's not a big museum.
No, and it's not Roswell isn't a big place.
No.
It's not small, but it's not a big place anymore. And the Roswell's entire economy has kind of embraced that whole alien theme. They have alien streetlights, alien-shaped McDonald's, an alien-themed Dunkin' Donuts. Of course, we just mentioned the UFO festival that's been going on since the mid to late 90s. Well, people dress up in alien costume and go out there and they have costume contests, all kinds of stuff. This should be stop number one on your alien, I'm going to use that word again, alien love fest.
I don't know that that's the proper term.
I don't know either, but I've already said it, so I'm going to keep on saying it.
Well, something you mentioned earlier, and you said you were going to talk about later.
What?
The signs for alien jerky.
Yes, thank you. I thought I was hoping I would miss that one. In Baker, California, and in the miles surrounding Baker for hundreds of miles out, you'll start seeing signs for alien beef jerky. Now there are a few competitors. They also say alien beef jerky. You can get this.
Do they say beef though, or do they say
They
alien
just say
jerky?
alien jerky.
Okay.
Which I know. I added the beef so I wouldn't throw up on my microphone. But they have alien jerky in Baker, California. It is the original stop for it. And you can order it online. But if you go to alienfreshjerky.com, you'll see the store. But it's more about like, and they have this whole center built out, and it's all around like, it's made out of aliens.
Well,
that kind of thing.
And I think even the signs that you see add to the mystique of it, because they're not professional billboards.
No.
They're like just giant pieces of plywood that it's spray painted on, basically.
Some of them are just like, you know, you see arrows on them and you're like, are they pointed at someone's house? Some of them will just be pointed down the road.
Am I about to become alien jerky? What is happening?
Like the hills have eyes. Like, oh my God. What is going on out there? And there's fun little things like that. I mean, just north of us in Armagosa Valley, which is the gateway to Death Valley, you know, just north here of Vegas, is the Area 51 Alien Center.
We have stopped there many a time.
Many a time. And it is a crucial stop, right? But the Area 51 Alien Center also has their version of alien jerky. They have all kinds of alien gear and wear and shirts and kitschy little things. They have aliens inside that you can take pictures with.
Not real aliens. Statues.
Well, come on.
I mean,
believe
if
Amy.
There's not 30-foot pistachios, there's not real aliens.
Get
right?
out of here. Don't kill this for me. Look, pistachios, that's insanity. But aliens, I believe.
They're
right?
just hanging out in this gas station for you to take a picture with.
And for the really adventurous. Right behind the alien.
You weren't going to mention.
Behind the Area 51 Alien Center is an alien-themed brothel.
Don't even have words.
What does that mean?
Word.
What does it mean for you?
We don't know.
She won't let me go. I can't do a review of this because keeping in mind that brothels are very legal in Nevada. I guess I should have warned people before I just blurted that out. But if I didn't say it then, I was never going to say it. If you're 21 and up and you want a new adventure, lots of probing. The Area 51 Alien Center. I don't think these two are owned by the same people, by the way.
I don't think so.
I don't think they are. But for this, they are. For visitors from the sky, if you're in Arizona, that doesn't have anything to do with probing, right? You'll start on the old Route 66 and Interstate 10. You'll start seeing signs just out of nowhere. You'll start seeing signs for a meteor crater. I don't know how to segue into that.
I don't know how you segue into that either.
Well, probing, deep hole, you know.
Oh my God.
So this meteor crater is, in fact, a real meteor crater. And it is... Come on, be professional. We won an award.
Yes. We've been to the meteor crater. When you told me we were driving that direction, you're like, we're going to go to the meteor crater. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I truly, as a 40-something-year-old person, did not know there were actual meteor craters on the Earth until just a few years ago.
Well, not up here anyway.
Yeah, because you were like, we're going to go see this meteor crater. And I was like, what are you talking about? And yes, it is just a giant crater in the ground, but the scale of it is like, I truly could not have.
It is mind-boggling.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I thought it was really going to be one of these little kitschy things, like, oh, look, and have a rock in the middle of it or something like that.
Like somebody dug it out with a shovel.
Like Thor's hammer is in the middle of it or something. If you've seen that. But, like, it's huge. And there's a visitor center that tells you all about it. I mean, the astronauts from NASA, like years ago, I believe in the 60s and 70s, used to train out there before they moved their training to do other things. But like, it has this whole history and everything. I mean, we're really lucky that when this meteor hit in Arizona, it didn't hit the visitor center. Like, it's just feet away from it. It's still really close.
Or the stairs to get up to the top of the
stairs,
crater, right?
super convenient. But you can get around this thing. I mean, they have tours of it. Like you can, I guess, walk around the outside. I don't know, but it's huge, so you'll be out there for a while. But they have like binoculars and stuff like that planted all the way around it that you can look in it.
There's like an observation deck.
I believe they still have one that you can go down into, like the actual crater.
I think they did offer tours, but when we went, they weren't offering them
Maybe
at
they don't
that
do
time.
It. Yeah. They have lookout points, the blast zone, guided rim tours, and different things like that. They even have a nice little dining area, a coffee house.
They were building it up when we were there the last time. But yeah, it was something I had no idea. It was just a few hours from us.
We hope you had fun. We sure did. Unscaled Travel Show. We'll see you guys next time.